is there something going on with the moon lately? Because for the last week or so, I've been thinking about past fights and stuff that I could have said.
No way.
And I'm nearly very tempted to just bring them back up again just so I can get my point across. But these fights are like over a year old.
Like fighting talk?
Yeah, fight talk.
Like, give me an example.
Proper. Like, for instance, I thought this morning of a woman who sent me a message last summer, on Instagram, telling me that she didn't like my dress. And she felt the need to just write to me.
So, what did she actually write?
She said, your dress style is fucking horrendous. If you just put a bit of effort in, you'd look great because you have a banging body. And this isn't one of those fucking screenshot and vilify me messages. I'm just letting you know how I feel. But I'll expect to see a screenshot of this message and a big vilifying thing up tomorrow. And I just... Is it because I'm pregnant, or is there something got to... Like, please tell me other people are doing this. I just feel like messaging her because I
what did you say back?
Those names register with me.
Oh yeah, no, I know them too. I'm like, hi, Patricia. Yeah, literally. I'm like, hey, Patricia, you again? And I always say that. I'm always like, you again, is it? Brilliant. Surprised to see you're still here after the last time you fucking annihilated me. Like, yeah, literally.
I just said, well, I to be honest with you, I don't care jack shit about your opinion on my style. Adam even slagged me before I left the house, but I'm comfortable in it, so I'm happy. So, you know.
I loved the fact that she kind of had a conversation with herself.
Oh yeah, she was like, oh, and by the way, I know you're gonna. She was.
This isn't one of them vilifying, and I know you're gonna post it. And blah blah. Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
She would have only fucking loved to see the screenshot of our message up.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is why I didn't do it. But I just thought of our message this morning and it really pissed me off.
What would you say now?
See you, Leslie, you cunt. Hello, and you are very welcome along to the Unpopular Opinion podcast. My name is Jen.
And I'm Carla.
And this week's episode is about #brand boom.
#brand boom.
And well, in Ireland particularly, because the brands have always been a thing, obviously. But the reason behind this was that we just thought Ireland's just running away with itself. Really?
Yeah, I think the world is running away with itself, but I think it's obviously because we live here, so it's so prevalent.
And we're Irish, and this is an Irish podcast, and most of our followers are Irish, so we're doing it about Ireland.
Ireland. I think it's definitely like there'll be a few people. Oh.
Yawn talk there.
Oh, a yawn.
Get your shit together. We're doing a podcast.
I'm very tired. I've had a long week, but very tired. But yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's everywhere, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always in your face. Anywhere you look, bus stops, sides of buses. They're all the examples I have right now.
Bus stops, sides of buses, back of buses,
billboards.
No,
but they are like advertising brands is absolutely everywhere.
Advertising brands is, but I think it's more the creation of brands. I think when people think of brands, they think of like Nike.
Yeah.
Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Adidas.
Yes.
Like big things.
Yeah.
Fenty makeup.
Fenty
makeup. But it's funny as well because there's a lot of laws in Ireland that aren't actually prevalent everywhere else.
Okay.
Which I found out obviously in my last job. It's just small things that. Did you know that you can't open a freestanding store? So a freestanding store would be something like, a River Island door or something like that. If you're a brand, you can only open it if you're a trademark company.
Oh.
So say, this is an example, just from I know, Smashbox was under Estee Lauder companies, just like L'Oreal owns it, they own YSL, they own all that kind of stuff. So Estee Lauder would have to open it. Do you get me? Because that's the company and the brand was Smashbox. So you actually can't open a store under a brand name, it has to be under a company name.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why Smashbox never got a freestanding store in Ireland.
Oh, yeah. So that's just...
And that's why Mac's... Do you ever notice Mac is in Brown Thomas? It's in Arnott's. And the freestanding store they had was because that building was owned Do you remember the Mac in
By BT too, like,
the
or BT in Grafton
the
Street.
one in, where'd you call it? Oh, Henry Street.
Okay.
Do you remember they had a Mac tour there?
Yeah.
That building was owned by Arnott's.
Yeah.
So it was going in under the Arnott's umbrella. Did you get me? It was going in under the like
Okay.
Selfridges, BT's umbrella.
Yeah.
Because obviously Selfridges now own Arnott's and BT's, if anybody's wondering.
Right.
So there you go.
Oh, so that's why there's only ever a stand of Smashbox like in Boots in Debenhams in okay.
That's so interesting.
And it is usually beside Estee Lauder.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it.
Yeah, well, Lauder brands will go where Lauder brands do. L'Oreal brands will go where L'Oreal brands go. And a lot of the times what places will try and do is they'll try and keep houses of things, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, that's housed by Lauder, so they'll have all the Lauder brands to the left, and yeah.
Wow.
And that's why people are always kind of, I don't know if anyone has seen this, but especially if you go to Vegas or there's a few in London as well, they're called the Cosmetics Company store.
Okay.
And they're an Estee Lauder owned store, and that's why all the Lauder brands you can get them at really discounted prices because it's generally like discontinued items.
Okay.
And that's why I know Lorna from Pennies and Pieces, she went in, she was like, wow, you can get all these brands, and I was like, yeah, because they're all Lauder, you know, because it's a Lauder ran store.
Wow, I didn't realise that. So I feel like
We've none in Ireland, by the way.
you're going to have a lot more info than me on it because you've worked. And obviously, when we talk about hashtag brand boom, and like I suppose the fact that we're so, like, our time is taken up with social media, like the people that we follow, it's often that people are advertising beauty brands.
Yeah.
And they're just coming up out of nowhere, like off the backyard.
I think that, right, I think beauty brands are coming out of nowhere, but that's because we'll get into that later about internet versus everything else like that. Obviously, this is my background, so
Yeah.
if you're wondering what the crack is, it's just because that's my industry.
Yeah.
But it's even, I think there's a lot of accessory brands and a lot of, you know, stuff like, look at Glitz and Pieces. Also in Arnott's, funny enough, and they are in BT's in Limerick.
Right.
Yeah, but like those kind of things, like I see a lot of accessory brands, phone cover brands, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's not like, there is a lot of makeup as well, obviously. There's a shit ton of makeup nowadays because people have realised how easy it is to get from China. But what I will say is that there's a lot of other kind of bits and bobs, you know? Do you know?
Off the back of your hand, how many tan brands would you say
Have launched or
popped up in the last 5 years?
In Ireland?
Yeah.
Irish based ones?
Yeah, and or otherwise. Because I don't know what's Irish and what's not. Like, we were just talking about B-Tan before we started recording.
B-Tan Rocks, that's Australian.
Right, okay. So not just Irish ones then, but I mean brands that you're just able to access. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and like pennies and
on the
stuff.
market, yeah. Do you know, easy enough to access brands. I just feel like tan and eyelashes
No eyelashes, fucking eyelashes.
seem to, there's never ending list, and it's like anytime somebody's launching something, it's either a tan or it's an eyelash, and it's like, well, why? Be fucking original.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why right now.
Hit me with it, Carla.
So, with eyelashes, they are the quickest way to make a profitable margin. If you are just looking to do what literally everybody has done, not put any development into it whatsoever, use mink, because mink at the moment is actually cheaper to get than a synthetic fibre.
Okay.
Because obviously animal cruelty is so huge at the moment. People don't seem to give a fuck when it comes to eyelashes.
Yeah.
But minks are the easiest. Mink is so easy to get your hands on, especially in China. They don't give a fuck. They have mink farms everywhere.
Jesus.
You can make a lot of money. You're talking like you can get lashes for a couple of cent, put them in a box and sell them for 10, 11, 12 quid, you know. The reason why Sosu has such a margin on hers is because she uses different fibres for different months. So she obviously has her €6 lashes, and then she has her €12 lashes, and then at one point I think she had ones that were in the teens.
The 3D, they were $19.95.
Fuck off.
The deluxe ones, yeah, we sold them in our shop.
Fuck off.
Yeah, the ones in the
Did they sell?
pack. No, not really.
Not 20 fucking quid for a lash, I'm sorry.
Sosu stuff never sells in my shop.
Really? Even the cheaper lashes?
Yeah. Well, like some people will come in, but then some, I think as well, a lot of people are like, fuck off, they'll just go in and get Ardell Wispies out of
Oh, I love an Ardell Wisp.
because
Now,
she doesn't sell glue or fucking lashes, like, it's ridiculous.
See, I never thought that was a thing. I never thought that was an issue.
Oh yeah, no, that for the every woman like me, I don't wear lashes every time I put on my fucking makeup. A lot of people do. They probably are like, oh no, it's grand, I have me duo glue, or I get me glue separate because I have so many fucking lashes, do you know what I mean? Whereas me, I'd be the type of person who go out and buy a box of lashes, expect the glue to be there, because I haven't bought lashes in 6 months, so I'm not going to still have glue from my last lash application.
That is so interesting.
Do you know what I mean? But it's the different type of people. But I just prefer, if I'm going out buying a pair of lashes, £6, I'd expect just a little thing of glue to be in there.
See, it's funny because the problem is with glue, and why people don't include glue is because there's a lot of FDA regulations, and nowadays everything has to be safe, obviously.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah. But the point
glue is cheap though to create. It is cheap.
But the point I'd make there with it is the people who are selling, we'll use Sosu as another example here. She sells glue separately. Yeah. She has a glue, so it's not as if she doesn't have a glue.
But the thing is, right, when you're putting, like, you'd have to order, like, it's all these little things that people don't think about. It's like, you know, whatever about getting a lash. So your lash can cost whatever. Then you have to put money into, like, getting a graphic designer to create your whatever else like that, to get your branding, everything else like that. Now, a lot of girls, I won't name who, have just simply said that from there, put it together, how much per unit, I'll sell them for $8.99. I'll sell them for $10.99. I'll sell them for $12.99. A lot of them are around $12.99 nowadays, aren't they? So they don't really care. They're putting like a 70% profit margin on that, because like by the time they do all that, because they're doing it by, like, they're doing something very simple, they're not trying to do anything too creative. It's like a white box with a fucking black, do you know what I mean, shit like that. But like, they're not really putting a lot of time and effort. Like those Classbury boxes, you know, the real like fancy ones, the ones that kind of like with the almost the magnetic pull on them, like you can get them designed for like a euro.
Okay.
80 cent, right. 60 cent. You can get them, like, and especially if you're not putting a lot of design into them. The problem is you have to order in bulk. So the more you order, the less it is, which is fine if you are a famous influencer, maybe whatever you want to be.
That you will sell them.
Because you will sell them. But there can be a lot of profit in them. And especially if you're clever like Suzanne Jackson, you put that profit that you've made into a bigger product. But Sue's first product was her contour palette.
Was it?
Yeah.
I could swear that it was her nails and her...
Oh, no, lashes. I think it was her contour. I think. I could be wrong. I swear that I thought it was her contour.
What do you think of... Okay, so most makeup comes from China anyway.
Yeah.
But what do you think of people who just go to
White
China?
label?
Yeah, white label.
People don't even go to China, Jen. I wish if they went to China, I'd be happy.
That would be as much effort as you'd appreciate.
I'd actually appreciate them going to China.
Yeah, okay.
Going to Hong Kong.
So for a bit of context, if you don't know what white labeling is, that if you go into Wish or AliExpress or anything like that and get a non-branded contour palette, like a cream, like contour colours, like a highlight palette, they're just with no name on it, you could probably get one for like €2 or €3. What's happening with people is if they have a name, they will order that, all of that in bulk, and then get it rebranded as their own brand when it's just basically the same thing, and they're making a massive profit margin on it. And I think that's what pisses people off.
Yeah,
they can do it with clothes. They can do it with pretty much anything from that's available on AliExpress, and just put their own branding on it and sell it.
Definitely.
It is quite
and I don't mind it when it comes to, like, it's the profit margins that I think that fuck people off. Whatever, like, because for ease, like, let's just say here, for ease of mind, peace of mind, right? You want a headpiece, you're not waiting 6 weeks from AliExpress.
No, yeah.
You're last minute, Lisa. You're fucking running out the door. You got your dress from River Island a day ago. You got your ASOS next day delivery order.
Yeah.
For peace of mind, you don't mind if it was, you know, €15. It's when it's €50 is when it takes the piss.
Yeah. Because just because they've put their name to it and they think they're all that.
Yeah. Well, it's just because people are trying to max out on profit. Like, it used to work. I think it used to work a lot more when, I suppose, it wasn't so well known that people were doing this through AliExpress. Yeah. Companies have been doing this for years, like absolute years. It's only when you make a lot of money that you actually go and put the money into like tech and stuff.
That's what I was going to say. It seems too easy for everybody not to be doing it. Like, I think an awful lot more brands do this than what we realise.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are people who you see will put the effort into putting their content out there. They'll show it being made in a lab. They'll show the effort that goes into it. Marissa Carter's one of them.
Yeah.
She doesn't just get white label shit. Lisa Jordan's another one. I've seen her going to the lab to get her stuff like manufactured. But it just, I think that there as well, it's not just about the profit margin. I think that there are people who think that highly of themselves.
That they think they put a lot of effort in.
Not that it's that. They'll order something from AliExpress and they'll be like, oh, well, I'm going to put this much of a profit margin on it because that's my target audience.
Oh.
And because I'm just aiming for that kind of woman. I just want to be a high-end brand.
Okay.
M&B.
Oh, I was going to say who.
I'll just leave that there. You can gauge that for yourself.
Yeah. I think you're like, that's how you feel. I actually didn't know anything about that. I thought it was mad when I saw it, and then I remember going on the website and being like, fucking hell, that's a price.
But also, if anybody who has done this before, not that you're going to be listening to us, but
yeah, you're probably going to be fucking XX.
If somebody's going to fucking put you wide to this, going, listen to that podcast, you did that, didn't you? Just like, make sure that you can't fucking image search on AliExpress, because you're just going to get caught out. Like, it's fucking, you are stupid. Like, you are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
If you think you're not going to get called out.
Yeah.
It's so laughable.
I think also, right, it's, so if you were to say start a, makeup brush company, which a lot of influencers have done. Yeah. It's really, you can find a contact. Like, if you were to actually hop on a plane, I think Suzanne has done this a good few times. She's gone on a plane to Hong Kong and then you go to the trade shows. That's putting effort in. You're going in, you're finding a factory, and there's a lot of process and a lot of back and forth. And when it comes to a factory, like, you have to find a factory that'll do it the certain way, get the profit margins down, won't have a minimum purchase order of like $8,000, stuff like that. But I can see why a lot of people do it. But I do have to laugh at the blood, sweat and tears.
Oh, fuck off, that blood, sweat and tears.
It takes...
You didn't even get out of bed, hon.
I get it. I've seen it. I've worked with it before.
Yeah.
I understand. It's a lot of hassle. It can be shitty going back and forth with emails, getting samples back and forth, organising that. But essentially it's not.
It's not blood, sweat and tears.
It's not blood, sweat and tears. What's blood, sweat and tears is actually going, trying to create a formula, all that other shit. Like, you've seen it with... a lot of famous influencers did the MAC collabs, and they went to the MAC lab and they were mixing pigment and they were doing this, that and the other, and they were changing waxes and all that other kind of shite. Like, that's not what they're doing. They're not doing that. Do you know what I mean? They're being sent back and forth a shitload of samples. They're sending over. Another good thing to do, not a good thing, but another thing that they'll do is they'll buy a whatever lipstick and send it over to them. So they'll buy a MAC lipstick, send it over and be like, recreate that. They'll send it back and be like, there you go. And they'll be like, grand. How cheap can you do it?
Yeah.
That's the easy way. The hard way is actually hopping on a plane, expensing a trip to Hong Kong, finding a distributor, finding a manufacturer, finding people that you're happy with, making sure that they've ethically sourced their stuff, making sure that they're not some fucking children in a workshop somewhere.
Yeah.
That's actually the tough part.
Okay.
So doing all that. Now, there is other places. There's one brand actually, her name's Jordana Tisha.
Okay.
I don't know if people have seen her before, but all her stuff is UK. Her factory's in the UK. Everything she sources from is the UK.
Right.
I'd fucking love to find her factory.
Yeah.
But like Carla Cosmetics. But everything that she does is through her factory in the UK. Right. And that gas. Now, they could outsource it from China or whatever else like that, but where she does her stuff, and her stuff is decently priced. Like, it's not on the very low end of things. Like, I think a blusher is £16. Okay. It's not bad. Like, not bad, it's mid-range, I'd call it lower mid-range. Sorry, it's definitely not mid-range, it's lower mid-range. And, stuff like that. I think her lip glosses are £12, 10 to £12. Stuff like that. But she started with lip glosses, made money off that, and now she's on fucking Beauty Bay. The girl's 21.
Jesus Christ.
So it can take off for people, but again, it's who you know and how you know them.
Yeah,
that's why I think influencers, like, they're so well connected in Ireland and they're so well connected everywhere that doors do tend to open for you when you're well connected.
That's it.
But what you choose to do with that is entirely on you. Are you going to do something? Are you going to actually create it? Like, if you could bring out a product, what would you bring out?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot now.
Is there anything you've ever thought you'd love to do that?
All the fucking time, but my mind is after going blank now. You tell me yours and I'll see, can I think of it?
I've always wanted to, and it's something I've looked into, and it would be so expensive but, for it to work the way that I'd have it in my head. You know, the way in your head, you're like, this is how it would work. It would be perfect. It would be brilliant. But I always really wanted to create SPF drops.
Okay.
And people are like, SPF drops, they must be out there. I haven't seen them.
Right.
I haven't seen a lot of SPF drops out there. But the whole idea is that they wouldn't change the formula of anything that you put them into. Okay. So they wouldn't fuck your foundation. They wouldn't fuck your
so
cream.
You just drop them,
in.
Cream.
Yeah.
Ah, very good.
So how easy would that be? Yeah. Everyone would be wearing SPF 50 because you wouldn't think about it.
Yeah.
Men would do it. Yeah. Just put a dropper into your foundation. Your foundation acts the exact same except it has SPF 50 in it.
Jeez. Yeah.
I would love that.
That is very good.
Yeah.
You actually put up a question box about inventions.
Yeah. Everyone said tanning bath bomb.
Yeah.
I just don't know how that would work.
No, it'd be in our nails and all.
Like your flaps would be.
Yeah, it'd be fucking everywhere.
Brown.
I suppose, and it's very hard to explain, but what annoys me is that I can't really, not that I can't, I simply won't, like if I was on a weekend away or whatever, go out without makeup.
Yeah.
I just like wearing makeup. It's an everyday thing for me, right? If I wasn't putting on makeup, I wouldn't be leaving the house. They're the only days that I wouldn't put makeup on. I like going on a weekend away or even going over to stay with Adam. It just annoys me the amount of shit that I have to bring.
Yeah.
I would like something, and I can't even tell you what I want. I don't even know what I want. I just want something handy, compact, small, that has everything that I need in it.
You'd like it all to be like just like a miniature makeup bag.
Yeah.
I think a thing is like people would love to be able to like decant their products, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They'd love to be able to get rid. But like a lot of the times you can do that. Like you can take your MAC powder, put it into a free palette with a few eyeshadows, your blush, or something else. Yeah. People just don't think about it. You can do that.
Is that, do you mean taking out the tray?
Yeah.
Of the thing?
It's not that difficult. Look it up on YouTube.
That's true.
Yeah, you know, so it's like, I think, and that's where it comes back to this conversation about like necessity and ease. So yeah, I've no problem. If you are a person who has gone to the effort to go to China, or to not even to pick your stuff out from China and get your phone cases in, and they're Diamante phone cases or whatever the fuck, and be like, off you pop, go for it, girl. Charge me a fairly decent price for it, that's fine. You bought them in China for £4, you're charging me 15 quid, that's okay. It's not when you're charging me 50 quid. No. That's not okay.
No.
So that's where...
Yeah, the notion of that kind of annoys me. And that's what I mean by people kind of thinking that highly of themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's not...
Well, I think they just... People, like, I don't think... And especially because Ireland, we've such a call-out culture, don't we? Where it's so like...
Oh, we're talking about that next week, by the way.
Oh, yeah, true. But it's like such a call-out culture, but also I think it's because it's like we will try and get away with as much as we can. Not just Ireland, everyone in the world. You're like programmed to be that way. You will try to get away with as much as you can. And even like when we were talking about claim culture, that's why people hit and run. They're like, if I can get away with it, I'll fucking go. Like if I can do all that other stuff. By the way, the claim stuff, hilarious. Jesus. Some of the ones that people were sending in, I was screaming.
It was mad stuff that's actually happened.
But it's that kind of, it's that mentality, isn't it? Where it's like, you will just try and get away with as much as you possibly can until hopefully you can, you know, do it a different way. And that's like, it's about being clever too. Like, I think it's really clever what some influencers did when they made their money initially off doing cheap shit and then they invested into something bigger. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Because let's not lie, Suzanne Jackson, she buys them contour palettes, highlight palettes for Sweet FA. But what she did then is she took that money and she put it into a tan brand. Yeah. And tan is expensive. You know, because you're talking about development, you're talking about all that other kind of thing. And I mean, I could debate back and forth about like factories, because a lot of things, like a lot of tan brands as well, are just white labelled. But people just don't know about them as much as they do about makeup, because you wouldn't put a bottle of tan into AliExpress, you're not going to find anything from it. That's true. Yeah. So,
and then it's so funny because a lot of the cosmetic-y kind of things come from China. That's where they originate from. But like nobody would go on to AliExpress and buy a non-branded eyeliner. No. Because it would take your fucking eye out. Like that's what people think. Yeah. Even though
it's still a cosmetic and it's probably whatever approved, but there is a lot of dangerous fake cosmetics out there because people in China also know this and can make things. I'm talking 10 cent, they're talking 0.3 cent.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. We got a couple. I put this up on the Insta last night, and I just asked people to fill out the question box. These are just a few of the responses. This person says, too many online brands, they're all the same. I find that as well.
There can be.
Sometimes when I see at the launch, I'm so excited about this launch, guys. I'm launching something really exciting.
My favourite is, I'm wearing it now. Can you guess what it is?
Oh my god, it's so excited. I'm obsessed with this. But it's not a new invention. The only thing that's going to get me excited is if it doesn't exist already. But it does. It's the same shit, just a different brand. Probably smells different a little bit.
But I like when people do it better, do you get me? Or they make it cheaper. Like, I am, for somebody who, I know a lot of people won't agree with this because of, you know, the way it looks like I live my life, but like for somebody who's such a bargain hunter, and I'm a bargain bitch. Like, yes, I will spend my money on makeup because that's what I like to spend my money on.
Yeah.
Don't judge me because that's my thing.
That's okay. Well, you're a mule.
You know, I am a bargain hunter when it comes to holidays, when it comes to, you know, as we all know, I love a deal. I love a deal. So if you can give me a solution for something, like if you can give me something for cheaper, like if you're like, that used to be like, if it was, you know, a robe, a silk robe that was 70, 50, whatever the fuck it is, and then you're like, but I can do that for 20, you've got me sold.
Yeah.
I will be there. It's like a mechanic saying, I've got a mate who could do it for 80.
Yeah.
When you were thinking about you were going to spend it for 150. That is my mentality.
Yeah, same.
And I'm very much bet into that. Whereas I have friends who are just like, no, I'll just pay the money, that's how much it is, that's how much it costs, like that's just that. I'm not one of them. I'm like a bargain hunter.
Yeah.
Like my process of buying, or they call it consideration in the industry, it's called consideration, consumer consideration.
Okay.
My consideration process is long.
Okay.
Like I rarely, because my shopper's guilt is there, like, but I rarely just make a snap decision to buy something.
That's
especially if I feel like I can get it cheaper.
Well, especially with my pocket as well, because they're not that big.
Yeah.
This next person says it's not so much the brands for me, it's people trying to brand themselves. I think that's what we touched on with the white label and stuff, and people putting massive profits on it because they just think that highly of themselves.
That's yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they're just like, well, I've put my name to this, so
like I've no problem with people like, look at Kylie Jenner.
Yeah,
she's probably the biggest brand, like, well, the biggest new age brand that's come into makeup in the past. Her and Rihanna. Now, their price points are two separate things. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And also because Rihanna started with skin, like Rihanna put a lot of work into it, and skin's so hard to do. Yeah. Like I remember when Marissa was launching Carter, and she was talking about the foundations, and I was like, well done, because skin is so difficult to get a good foundation and all that kind of stuff, because it has to have those benefits and everything else. Anybody can kind of bring out an eyeshadow palette. Anyone can bring out eyelashes, as we know.
Yeah.
Lip colour, anything like that. But when it comes to like foundation, stuff that people will put on their skin, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
You know?
And hers is really nice. She actually made me veer away from the HD full coverage. I've been wearing the True Match for years. Like,
no way.
I'm not joking, 15 years. And anytime I buy a new foundation, I never stick to it. I always just put the lid back on that. You can go away now. Maybe if I have tan on one day, I might fancy a change. If I run out with True Match, maybe I'll delve into the HD full coverage foundation that I bought it, and I've used the whole bottle. I actually do really like it. So, there you go.
Gas.
Yeah, so she got it right. This next person, again, same kind of thing. Everyone wants to be a brand. Now, not just products, services. It's just them as a brand. So, yeah.
I think because who wouldn't love to make money off just being themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because I have an agent now, obviously.
Oh, Jen's an agent. Jen's an agent. Oh.
Because of like the acts and stuff, because you can't just expect people to knock on your fucking door. You need somebody behind the scene knowing what's going on to be able to get you into the door with these things. But he's always talking about, but this, we should incorporate this into your brand. And I'm like, I'm not a brand. I'm not. It's because I do the comedy videos as well. It's not just.
But I think you're known for a thing, aren't you? Like, people know you for a thing.
I wouldn't call that a brand.
Yeah, well, I can see why they call it a brand, because when people start talking about brand, they start talking money. That's when they're talking money. They're not talking brand like you're a brand because you're fucking good at cooking. Do you know what I mean? You're not like, you're talking about like making money off your skill. That's essentially what people are doing when they're talking about turning themselves into a brand.
Yeah.
You know?
I also think though, like, see the way that call out culture again is so prevalent these days, and it will be so easy for, say, a rumour to be spread about somebody. Just who we use an example. Face by Grace, we'll say, as an example, right? She gets called out quite an awful lot. Like, it would be so easy for her to just go full fucking ham on her Instagram.
And be like, well, you think shite of me anyway.
Yeah, but she doesn't, because that would fuck up her brand. Do you know what I mean? It's a personality thing as well. Like, you need to keep in line, basically. You need to...
Yeah, like, I wish I could say all the things that I... Like, we were just having a conversation right beforehand.
Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? You can't, because it would fuck up your brand.
Yeah. And you don't want people to think a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to not be a brand when you put yourself out there, even though you don't think of yourself as a brand. It's so funny, like.
It is real paradox, isn't it? Because you're just real kind of like, what is this?
Yeah.
But then you don't, like me and you talk a lot of the times, because I will push you, and as you know, I'll always be like, do this, but like say this, or like, why don't you just do this?
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, okay, Carla, pull back.
Yeah.
But that's also just to do with personality as well. But I think that it's funny, isn't it? Because you can't think certain ways. You can't do certain things.
And there's certain things you just can't say.
No.
You just can't.
You can't.
Like, do you know what I mean? You just can't. This next one says, sick of Irish bloggers pulling shit out of thin air and calling it their own blood, sweat and tears. We've already talked about that. Most of the bits on the markets look like overpriced, over market dupes of high-end shit. That's true.
But I love a dupe. If it works well, I love a dupe.
Definitely. This next one says, the amount of makeup companies and new products is head-wrecking 2ph. Yeah, I agree.
I love makeup.
Yeah. I just don't see the need for the oversaturation of it. Like, it's been invented. Be fucking
You're not reinventing
original.
the wheel. Yeah, I get it.
Do you know what I mean?
I think...
Make it exciting. That's not exciting, hon. Another fucking highlighter? Really?
But I will say, really,
Letitia,
really,
another fucking highlighter? Really?
I think though with that, because obviously it's funny because everybody thinks, oh my god, makeup retail has taken a nosedive. Makeup retail is really suffering at the moment because of internet brands and internet boom. But skincare's on the up. Because everybody is like really huge on skincare, and it just kind of changes, I'm sure, in a couple of years again, because like skincare brands are getting more and more accessible. But I think it's funny because when people think of skincare, they think of money. Whereas now people are like, get the cheap one, it's easier. Whereas when I started watching YouTube videos in 2010, I think it was, I remember being like, oh my god. And there was this girl, Mel's Makeup was her name. Okay. She's changed her name now. Her name is like Melanie something, and I don't really think she's that big into her videos, but she used to be big back in the day.
Yeah.
Her and Sparkage, I used to watch her as well. And Mel's Makeup, I loved her because she was like Guido style. And do you remember that was really big, like Jersey Shore?
Oh.
Yeah. So she had like really dark hair. She had long clip-in extensions. They were like 22 inch. But I was fascinated. I was so fascinated because I loved that. Like, you know, everybody was getting into tan. She was always really tanned. And I remember she was doing MAC dupes.
Right. And
obviously I was in college at the time. This was after IADT, because 2009 was IADT and 2010 was Blanche IT. So kind of moved around a bit. But I remember going to the centre and buying all the dupes that she had said. And there was one, and it was Barry M Marshmallow.
Right.
And it was like the palest nude in the entire world. And it was supposed to be like a dupe for fucking, I think it was MAC Creme de Nude. And I just thought I was shit hot. But I just remember thinking, this is brilliant because I can afford it now. I can't afford a MAC lipstick, but I can afford these 3 Barry M lipsticks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I can get I get my purchase. And that's why in the recession, lipstick went up, shot through the roof, because people felt they could still, like high-end luxury lipstick, because people felt they could still treat themselves. But they couldn't treat themselves to a €40 foundation, God no, but they could to a €22 lipstick, or to a €20 lipstick. So that's why during the recession, lipstick sales went through the fucking roof, because people were getting that luxury.
It was a small luxury.
And that's why I think, like, nowadays, I mean, I think we're barreling toward another recession with the way that things have gone again. But
I
it could be
fucking
totally
hope
wrong.
we are, to be honest. Sorry now to anybody who's going to lose their jobs, but like, I need a fucking house that I can afford.
Isn't it gas? Like, imagine we're wishing our country into fucking poverty so we can afford things.
Just so that they cop on, really.
Yeah.
Prices and stuff.
Gas.
Yes. This next one here says, if I see another fucking fake tan brand come out of the woodwork, I think I'll cry. Same.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I loved a tan, and I remember this time last year I was like, oh my god, give me all the tans, and now I'm like, oh my god, please stop sending me all the tans.
Yeah.
I can't deal with more tans.
Yeah. But like, are they not basically the same thing? Like, ingredients wise?
No.
Oh,
If
you
you
did
watch
this
my tan
masterclass
videos,
thing.
no.
Sorry, yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we love a blanket statement in Ireland. That tan's shy, that tan's deadly, that tan's this, that tan's that.
Yeah.
Your skin is different to Patricia's down the road. Your skin is not going to react the same. So if you love something, go, good for you. And that's why it's tough. And it's funny because me and one of my friends, we get into like she works in makeup as well, and we get into like such heated debates about these things because she thinks it's fucking crazy. She honestly, she thinks there's nothing crazier in the world than Instagram people making recommendations. It blows her fucking head off.
Right. Why?
Because she's like, how in the fucking world are they allowed to sit there and make a recommendation? How? When there's so many different factors to that working for that person.
Yeah.
And I have to agree, but then at the same time, I'm a person on the internet who makes recommendations. Because when something works for you, you want to talk about it. And when some things don't work for you, you want to talk about it too, you know? So I was just like, but that's just culture. That's just like the way that we do things. That's just, and she was like, but I think, she was like, sorry girl, I can't. She was like, I think it's fucking mental.
Yeah, it is.
And I was like, but I don't think so, because at the same time, I'd look like if I see something fab on someone and they're like, that's fab, and then I go and buy it and I'm like, oh my god, that's fab. You feel like you've done well, you know? So if somebody recommends something, and there's very seldom people I trust on Instagram, very seldom people, and I buy something that works for me, I'm like, yay.
Yeah.
But if I buy things and it doesn't work, I'm like, okay.
I suppose it's not too different to somebody recommending a TV show.
Yeah.
It's not really, in fairness, because you're all going to have different, like, sorry about that now. There's
You text me, a fella.
I'm not. No, I'm trying to look through the Insta for the messages that we got. What was I going to say? Yeah, because we all have like such different personalities and we all have different tastes and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that far off, unless if it's like somebody with really like tough skin, you can put fucking Anton on it, and you're recommending something that's obviously going to be shy for sensitive skin, and you don't say that.
Yeah.
Then it's a problem. But like, I mean, it's no real difference to recommending like a theatre show or a movie or a box set.
But people are putting their money into it. I think that's where.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. We have a message here, and I was asking about the oversaturation. What did people think of it? Stuff like that. And this girl
or
said,
if they feel it's oversaturated, because a lot of people came back being like, it's not. And I was like, fair enough.
That's true. Yeah, this one's kind of along them lines. It says it's good in the sense that there's no monopolistic markets anymore, i.e. only sun shimmer tan.
Sun shimmer.
What else, sun shimmer? Well, in fairness, it's great that we do have more options than sun shimmer.
Yeah.
The consumer has more choice, but with more choice comes more bloggers shoving a new product down our necks every week, which isn't great for the environment, and we've turned into a buy greedy society. I found myself buying a new tan brand when I've loads of tans at home just to see what the hype is.
Isn't that gas? Because I know just from, I do a lot of makeup lessons, and a lot of the times when I do them, my thing is I always tell them, bring your makeup bag and we'll go through what you have.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that's just how I structure my lessons, because I'm like, we'll go through what you have, I'll make some recommendations of things that I think you could replace or add in.
Could do it. Yeah, do it. That's really good. Because
I always say, if you're happy with something, and like this is something that obviously you learn over the years, but if you're happy with something, why are you trying to break it? Why are you trying, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of the times I feel like I'm putting a hole in people's head when I'm recommending the same shit on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I'm using the same fucking shit. You're like, Carla with the Becca champagne pop, really?
Yeah.
Groundbreaking. You know, it's like, there she is again, with the Smashbox blurring foundation brush. Crazy, you know? But at the same time, it's not broke. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with my clients, they'll be like, yeah, but like, I'd love something new.
just for the sake of it.
But that's how we're trained, isn't it? Because I'd be
Yeah.
the same. I'd be like, I'm looking for a new bronzer, ignoring the 40 bronzers.
That's it. Yeah,
in the
as
corner
well.
of my room. I'd love a new bronzer. I just don't have. I don't have that. For some reason, for a while there, I was like, I've no cream bronzers. Around 7 in there.
Yeah.
I've no cream bronzers. I need a new cream bronzer.
It's like when you have a wardrobe full of clothes and you say
Yeah.
you have nothing to wear as well.
Isn't it like, and it's the way that like it's programmed into your head though, isn't it? It's like we've become really greedy, but that's just because back in the day you get one thing and that was that.
Yeah, well it is, it's down to marketing as well, and the constant subliminal, you need this.
You need this. This is going to
an
change your
ad,
life.
This is going to change your life. This is amazing, even though it's already been invented. And like I said, I have my mentality when I see the product of a brand new exciting launch. Guys, I can't fucking believe how obsessed I am with this. I'm just like, it's another fucking highlighter. Like, this is the way my brain is starting to work now. I'm just like, no.
So do you think our highlighters are oversaturated?
Yes, absolutely. Well, for somebody who doesn't use a highlighter, yes.
Do you not use a highlighter? No. Oh, Jen, I'm giving you a highlighter before you leave.
Like, no, I don't. I have them. That's the thing. I've fucking loads of them. I
Please
just
use
don't use them.
Why not?
They don't interest me.
Live a little.
And then it's so funny because every time I see somebody doing like a makeup tutorial, like if it comes up on the Discover page, what they'll do is they'll swipe the highlighter, tap off the excess, rub it on their cheek, and then they'll move their face a little
And
bit.
then they'll go,
and they'll go, look at that.
And like, it's
Oh my
the
God.
studio lighting.
It's the fucking ring light.
Yeah.
It's a torch that you're using to
Yeah.
shine the light on your face. Like, seriously. And they're just like, oh my God.
OMG.
OMG. Look at that highlight. You look like a tin man. Fuck off.
Leave me alone. Let me do what I want to do.
Carla looks like the fucking tin man. All she needs now is her heart.
Let me live. Okay, let me live. There's another one here. I don't have any thoughts or opinions. Oh.
Okay.
Brilliant. But an account I love for unique, unbranded / offbeat gifts is Shop Small Ireland. # support local. So
Okay.
I'm just having a little look here. Oh, they're very cute.
Oh.
Personalised gifts. Oh, there's some baby grows in there. Oh, Jen.
What's this now?
Shop Small Ireland.
Oh, this is an Instagram account.
And it's like, let's support small Irish businesses together by a small Irish business for small Irish businesses. That is so cute.
Follow that.
Yeah, I'll give them a little follow. No, we don't follow things on our thing.
No, switch your own account.
Oh yeah, I'll go to my own account, sorry. We don't follow things on our thing.
We'll follow that.
Follow that on my own. I'll follow that on my own brand. On my own fucking page.
But like that, it's still a brand. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all...
Well, actually, that's a lovely... Thank you for popping that in there to us, because we love recommending, we love passing on the love. I know Reese Creed was over the moon.
Yeah.
He's got loads of new viewers now. Loads of new people are in there for the Reese Creed train.
I can now relate.
You can, yeah, now you can relate.
Now I can
Yeah.
relate to Reese Creed because I followed him.
I fucking love Reese Creed.
Reese Creed.
Hey, so for Brands Pod this week, this is a brand owner's perspective. Ooh.
Oh, this is the message about... Okay, so this is more so aimed at...
Ooh, have you seen
pushing
this
brands.
yet?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. The owner of a well-known Irish cosmetics brand has cancelled any paid sponsorships with influencers he was using because of the cost and how little of an effect he thought it was having. He had one specific influencer promoting the brand and wasn't happy with her. When he contacted her about promoting the brand, she replied saying, well, really, you're just paying me not to talk about other products that are the same as yours. Bear in mind, this influencer was getting €2,500 a month to promote this brand. Fair enough if she didn't rate the product or didn't use it, but she didn't state this. She just spun him a spiel to cover herself.
It's gas, isn't it?
I think it's... You have to be careful.
What do you mean?
You have to be careful nowadays about what you're doing and who you're doing it with and how you're doing it. Apparently, Irish influencers make the most money out of anywhere in the world.
Wow.
Other than the US.
It's like our fucking... Leo Varadkar makes more money than Donald Trump. Like, what is fucking wrong with us? Why are we so fucking greedy?
Yeah, we're so flash. But it's funny because people will be like, what about the American influencers? And I'm like, yeah, but lads, we don't have anybody from Ireland, influencer-wise, that's hit 1 million. No.
We don't.
Who's our most followed influencer?
Maura Higgins.
Oh, Maura, yeah, but she's not an influencer. She's a fucking... she's a reality TV star.
She was brand ambassador for Bellamiante.
Because she was a model.
Way before.
Because she was a model.
Yeah.
But she wasn't an influencer.
But that is an influencer thing to do.
But she didn't become an influencer from her Bella fucking Mianta sponsor gig. She went on Love Island. That's how she became famo.
Yeah. I know, but she was still doing influencer shit before.
Yeah, no, she was, but she didn't curate and grow her following to 1 million by being more fucking Higgins from Longford. No, she didn't. She went on a TV show. Do you get me?
We don't have that many. Don't think
we don't have anybody who's hit 1 million.
No, do we? No,
do we? No.
I'm trying to think of the.
Because I know they put out. I have a screenshot somewhere actually of how much it, like, who makes how much, how much people make off a post in America.
Okay.
But like, you're talking about people that have like fucking
millions of
10 million followers, 5 million followers. So it's not really relative to here.
No, and then they also,
because we've got people on 250k and 200 of them are fake, you know.
Yeah, and as well, they put so much effort into their content. Like, Irish influencers don't.
No, they don't. They're like sitting on the bed, like,
they don't. They sit
here
on the
I am.
bed. They'll do
sheets.
They'll be given free shit. They'll do one boomerang of it. Say absolutely nothing about the fucking.
And they're like, €2,500, please.
Yeah, the product or whatever, and they'll put like a tiny SP beside their fucking profile picture up in the corner.
I do think it's mad, yeah.
Yeah, whereas the American influencers actually, they'll do YouTube videos on the smallest
work for their money
things. Yeah, like they really do put their effort in. Now, obviously, there's so much more, and the competition is way higher over there. I'd imagine that's why they do it. But at the same time, the brands are getting bang for their buck. Do you know what I mean?
In America? Or here?
Yeah, for paying influencers to do stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas over here, I think it's a waste of fucking money because a lot of people have lost trust in the influencers, and it's apparent, it's so apparent how lazy most of them are.
But I've said this before, right? I've said this 1,000,000 times. I think I've said it to you before. As much as people, oh my god,
oh shit, a nail came off. Oh, let's pause this. Sorry about that, guys. Carla lost a nail and it was fucking tragic.
It was tough.
It was real.
I don't know if I'll recover, but I mean, we've to crack on, don't we?
There was blood, sweat and tears.
There was.
Just in that
there was
moment ago.
There was some time to recover.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're on the bus and you heard all that and it was in your earphones and you were like, ow.
It was kind of a funny sound. I was like,
That's how I react to things. So I'm always like, I always know when you've hurt yourself because that's what you do. You go,
it's so attractive.
So it's like I'm trying to get like breath again, you know. I'm like, you know. Anyway, back to our fucking podcast. But we had somebody text us here. Hey gals, adore the podcast. Right, brand boom. Firstly, I work in cosmetics and I've done for the last 5 years with premium brands, and all I can say is the cosmetic market is dying. Way much of an oversaturation of everything cosmetic, especially eyeshadow. It's forcing me to think of a new direction for my career because my personal life is now being affected by the stress of my job and targets. I know that's my personal problem, but I think that it's way easy for Mary down the road to bring out a cosmetic line, and it should be regulated better so that we have fewer brands of better quality on the market. I can see that. Mm-hmm. But then I don't feel like there should be so much red tape around people trying to, you know, do things. It's weird because it comes down to personal responsibility as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's like, are you doing things because you want to make some money, or are you doing things because you think there's a gap in the market? You surely know there's not a gap in the market to bring out a fucking highlighter.
Yeah.
Or are you trying to do it differently? Do you know what I mean? Are you bringing out a highlighter that's a different texture? Are you bringing out a highlighter that's more ethically sourced? Are you bringing out a highlighter that is cheap AliExpress shit packaged up again and you're putting somebody on the front of it?
Yeah.
Up to you. But then again, I feel like it's such a weird one because it's like, but you're responsible for yourself and you're responsible for you buying it.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be selling it if you weren't buying it, chicken.
Exactly.
You know? Obviously not this person, but just you, as in you as a person.
Yeah, the general... I think just kind of covered everything in that.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we've spoken about it before. I totally get it. In addition to this, she goes on. In addition to this, Carla, I know you've spoken about this before on the podcast. Fast fashion, example, Pretty Little Thing, Ectic. I find it impossible to get clothes anymore. 2 years ago, I was a size 12 to 14 everywhere, and now I could struggle to get into a 16 sometimes, despite not having put on a pound. Nobody cares if curvy women in their 20s want something fashionable that fits anymore. All they care about is getting prepubescent girls into women's sizes. I would adore a new fashion brand to come to the market with realistic, comfortable and flattering styles for normal women, rather than me having to buy something too big, pin and tit-tate myself into something because I'll only get one wear out of anyway because quality is shite.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've spoke about that before. I mean, I've spoke about how, I mean, in the sustainability podcast, how frustrating it is that all these clothing brands are coming out, but no one's coming out with a fucking plus size one. Do you know why? Because it's really hard to do, because China won't make those sizes, because no one in China is fat.
Yeah.
Or larger. Or bigger.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Well, not nobody. Obviously, there is people, but blanket statement, Carla. But you know what I mean.
Do you think brands might start to look sorry, let me start that again. Do you think brands might start, or new brands even coming out, might start looking at being that bit more sustainable and being a bit more thoughtful? Or do you think people are just out for the money? Like, is there going to be another 20 brands now with fast fashion that only go up to a size fucking 12 or 14?
Yeah. I mean, it's people are still doing it. Sure, Got That Wow just launched and got that what? Like, what a fucking name, first of all. And second of all, you're shilling shite. Like, same stuff that everybody else was doing. And again, nobody's over a size 14.
Yeah. And there isn't, but do you think that, like, obviously there is a gap in the market for something like that, an online fashion brand to come out? Because, like, realistically, now, as somebody who doesn't need to avail of a plus size brand, this is a very ignorant statement of me, all I really know of is V by Very.
Yeah.
That's plus size. Evans.
Boohoo have a great, I've said this before, Boohoo have a very, very good plus size range. They actually have the best out of all of them.
Okay.
Because Misguided have a plus size range, but it's twice as expensive as the normal size.
What? Oh, they're one of the ones that add extra.
Yeah, ourselves. Boohoo keep it to the same prices. Like, if you're getting a size 8 top, I can get the same size in a size 18.
Yeah.
For €6.
Brilliant.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is good.
Well, that's
now,
good.
it's not as large as something else. ASOS have a lot of curved stuff as well, but ASOS stuff is a bit more saucy. Like, more expensive when you're looking for a fucking t-shirt. I don't want to spend 20 quid, but that's just the way that I am now. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, I would love if somebody, like, when I put up that box before about product, a lot of people were like, a plus size fashion range. A plus size fashion range. A plus size fashion range. And I was like, it's gas, isn't it? Because I know for a fact, if I open up my browser, like, if you're going to go online shopping, you can open up 12 different sites. I can open up 4.
Yeah.
You know?
You just don't have that much.
Depending on budget. You know, so I'm like, there you go. Because that was the thing. Like, there's Vivi Berry, Simply Be, that was quite expensive as well.
Yeah, and then Little Woods, I'd say.
Little Woods, they do a lot of business,
like
actually.
That. I feel like those brands in particular are more aimed at the more mature woman.
They are.
Like the clothes, they're definitely aiming at women in their 40s, 50s.
Nasty Gal have a 4 to 24 range. And the last time I clicked on it, it had 28 items. Like fucking kiss my hole.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you know, I'm just like, that is, but like, that's bollocks beyond bollocks. I mean, I could spend all day. I could actually do a pod on my own about that.
But the point is about brands, like, they have so much power, they have so much money to be investing, but they're not going after launching stuff that there's a gap in the market for.
Definitely. They don't give a fucking flying shite.
No, they're just doing
They're trying to make
easy
a quick buck. Like, Got That Wow wanted to be a new
Boohoo.
Boohoo.
Yeah.
That's why they launched the way they did, with those sizes that they did. And, you know, that's them. That's on them. Like, if there's people buying it, more fucking fill them. Because there's other companies that are out there doing the exact same shit, but probably more. I just couldn't, like, when I saw that, I was like, are you fucking shitting me?
Yeah.
You know? It's 2019. We've had this conversation. We've done it. Boohoo, when it launched, had nothing over a size 14. Now look at it.
Yeah.
Flying. Same with Pretty Little Thing. Now they do loads of shit as well. Pretty Little Thing have a good. I just don't like the way their clothes fit. Their clothes fit for, like, girls that have no tummies but are really wide.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm, like, I'm not really narrow, but I'm smaller, but with a gut. Do you get me? So it's like it's really weird. It's
I know, I get that, because I'd be skinny, but I have boobs, and I can't wear the shit that
because it looks slutty. Unfortunately, I know it fucks me off. So that's another thing that fucks me off to the nines. It's like, anytime I'm wearing a top, people are like, "Oh, tits out." No, it's just a round neck, and I've large tits.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to go somewhere, Teresa.
Yeah, can't be wearing fucking polo necks all the time.
Can't be wearing polo necks just because you feel insecure about your fucking rack. Go away. Like,
I'd actually love to have tiny boobs just to.
They look sexy in some things, don't they?
Yeah.
See, I have to have big tits. If I didn't have big tits, I'd just be one big round ball. Like, at least the tits give me some kind of shape. You know, I just couldn't be, like, I'm a potato enough as it is. You couldn't, like, at least I'm a potato with tits. At least I am.
It's the way you're fucking saying it, girl.
It
That's
is.
making me laugh. A potato test.
At least I am, though, you know? I mean, it could be worse.
You're sexy, gal.
I'm a sexy gal.
She's sassy.
I'm a sassy gal.
You don't get to see her. I do. She's sassy.
I'm a sassy gal in my tracksuit bottoms. But
She's sassy.
we have another one here. Would love to see you on video discussing it and not just hear audio. Your expressions would definitely make it class. No hate, just an opinion. Love what you do.
Thanks. I wanted that as well, but
do you have the money for that? Because I certainly fucking don't.
No.
It cost me enough to do this.
and I don't have the patience to be editing it all either.
Imagine. Yeah. Unfortunately,
Just
we're
don't have
not.
the time.
Until somebody comes in, sweeps us off our feet and offers us some money, then we can look into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it would be lovely to do a digital series. We'd
Yeah.
make it obviously a lot shorter, but sure. Here, listen, here we are.
But
So,
we have duly noted your...
duly noted.
opinion. Thank
We
you.
understand there's a gap in the market for...
Yes, we are going to look into that because there's a gap in the
There's
market.
a gap in the market for that, so we get that.
The only person doing it is Joe Rogan.
Fucking Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Fucking Joe Rogan. So we have another here. It's also big in the US. People will always upgrade to new stuff. Super common with Apple and iPhones. People will even camp outside of stores for new limited editions and merchandise. The internet has definitely facilitated more companies access to the market, which is nice for smaller businesses.
Okay.
So I do get that because, you know, on the flip side of all this, if you have a small business, it's easier for you to not have to pay thousands in advertising and marketing like you used to have to.
Yeah.
So I do totally get that, but I think it's being taken advantage of. That, like, not loophole, but that, you know, because now when people open brands, they're like, right, I'm going to open a brand. I have to send this amount to influencers. I have to do this, that, and the other. I have to, you know.
Oh, this
So
was
I do-
aimed at influencers, right? Okay.
What do you mean?
It's just a cheaper way than trying to get an ad on the telly or...
Oh yeah, well that is. Well, that's just like one variation of it.
yeah.
But I do understand it has always been there. Brands have always been around. But it's just the sheer... Like, do what you want to do. If you want to fucking launch a brand, launch a brand. If you want to, like, if you have a great... You know, one of the Kardashians, their makeup artist, Harush, she just launched a brand and she was gigging it up and building it up and doing whatever. And it was a sunglass brand. And I was like, really?
Makes no sense for a makeup artist.
But then, it was so random. And then I was reading a thing about it today. She was like, I was working on it for ages because I just felt like I couldn't get the styles to suit my face and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, so she had a passion for that. She didn't just launch. Would have been so easy for her to launch eyelashes or, you know,
Yeah.
stuff along those lines. But it is what it is, man.
Definitely.
You know, when it comes to that as well, I'd love to somebody bring out like a new cool trainer brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is gaps, but it's just people will go for stuff that is not, they don't have to put 40 grand into research and marketing and everything else like that for it, you know, and I totally get that.
But then there's also going to be, like, people who are going to do knockoffs of it as well. Because sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference of what came first. Was it AliExpress or was it the original? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My nephew is great at sourcing knockoff
Dupes.
dupes.
Dupey
The
dupes.
trainer dupes.
Dupey dupes.
Dupes. He gets them from Dubai or something like that. But they're like class A dupes. Like, there
Like,
is
how much are we talking?
not a different thing if
Really?
you see the original. So he got some fucking thing delivered during the week. They were like corded Nike runners,
Ooh.
like all the colours of the rainbow or something. The originals are like €850. He got them.
Fuck off.
Yeah, he got the original. Not the original. He got a really good knockoff.
The Dupey dupe.
The Dupey dupe for 150.
Wow.
Yeah. He also did it with Yeezys.
Oh, wow.
He gave me the Yeezys because he bought them for his girlfriend. They didn't fit her. I have the Yeezys and you actually can't tell the fucking difference.
How much were the Yeezys?
40.
Oh, grand. Well, how much
Yeah.
are they? 250.
300
Are they
or
fucking
like
jeez?
$400.
That's out of whack. I am.
Yeah, I know he because he bought Yeezys before he like invested in Bitcoin. He's so fucking sensible. Like he's not even 20 yet, but he invested in Bitcoin, made a bit of money, and he was like going to treat himself to a pair of Yeezys. Got them in from America. Then ended up having to pay the tax that followed. You know all the shit like having to pay the delivery driver money and all that. Big red invoice and stuff like that. My ma was like, "Is that them Tanya shows?" Is that again? She meant to say Kanye.
Oh, gosh.
Is that them Tanya?
Tanya.
Tanya. Right? I'm not mad about them. I think they look a bit scruffy, if I'm honest.
What,
They
Yeezys?
look straight out, like they're straight out of shoes on.
Yeah, one of my mates has a
Yeezys,
pair, and I just
you're
think they look like fucking, flipper like flipper.
like they
I
do.
think they
They
look
look like
mad.
swimming socks.
They do.
They do.
They do. And I'm just like, they just will never be trendy to me.
No, they're not.
But I
like,
can totally appreciate that they're trendy to some people. But like every time I see them, I'm like, I just fucking hate them yokes. But that's me.
but they do. They have like the all the branding and stuff like that on it. So like they can get really good dupes now. They're still not. Like, they're still 150 quid, which I still wouldn't pay for an original pair of Nikes for 150 quid. I just don't spend that much money on myself.
No. I actually almost feel like fucking annoyed when I have to spend 50 euro on a pair of trainers. Like, even though all trainers are
like
over 50 euro now.
Over 15 quid on a handbag. Fuck off, like.
See, I'm different.
No, I'm not. I don't have any, any designer
like
handbags
will
that
be
I
with you
have
forever.
was either bought for me.
What designer handbags?
Well, see, I gave them all to me, man. That's what I'm not even.
Jesus, you're really not that fucking into it.
Guess ones from years ago, like Guess ones.
Vintage Guess.
Guess,
quote unquote.
Like a tote bag. Yeah, they were just Guess.
Yeah, okay.
That's all there.
Fair enough. Got another one here saying, RE brand boom. I'm not sure is this entirely relevant, but every Tom, Dick and Harry branding themselves and then creating a showcase masterclass events for areas which they have minimal knowledge, talent, so they can flog their cheap AliExpress goods. Carla, I know you've done a masterclass.
I was about to say, oh gosh.
Carla, I know you've done masterclasses, but you've got a talent and are teaching people skills. Some of the other ones are laughable.
Oh, okay.
Well, as far as masterclasses, I mean, from my own experience, that's to do with makeup. I couldn't give a fuck if you think that, like, not you, but as in if people are like, why is she doing a masterclass? I'm like, because there's demand there for me to teach my skills to other people.
Yeah.
So
I'm always really interested when you're teaching stuff on Instagram about makeup, because I'm so shit at it that I'd like any little tip helps me. Like,
yeah, I should probably do more.
Yeah, no, I find them really interesting, even though I'm not a big makeup.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that I can still learn something and potentially try it out on myself.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes I think I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to stuff, and I'm always like, sure, who will give a fuck about that?
Yeah, there's always going to be somebody.
Because I think that people think that I'm mad confident like 24/7. I'm really not.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm not like that at all. I think people think that I really think that I've got my shit going on, but a lot of the times
you know what you think of things.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a difference.
There's a difference, yeah. I know how I feel about things, but it doesn't mean that I think that I'm fucking...
Yeah, you're not confident all the fucking time.
All the time. Like, yeah, that's exactly how I'd put it, Jen. Jesus, you just know me, don't you?
I'm telling you.
Oh, it's so great having friends.
I just put it into the type of English that you can understand.
That you can understand. You could go through, if you know what I mean.
The old layman's terms. I love the old layman's terms.
Oh, sure, Jesus. We love it. I do see where people are coming from. Also, I know that don't worry about insulting me. I'm not insulted. But I feel like with showcases, there was a demand there for a while, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was loads of people doing masterclasses and...
They loved Pippa's style, so they wanted her to do... And like those days, I used to do makeup for girls going to them.
What?
Yeah, like I worked in Smashbox and Blanche, obviously, for a while. And this was back like 2014, 2015.
You do makeup for women going to a fashion factory?
Yeah, because it was a lovely day out for them.
Oh, right.
And I do...
Yeah, I get that.
I can get that. You know, when it comes like sometimes people are like, hey guys, big, amazing excitement, announcement. I'm doing a masterclass. And you're like, why though? So I can kind of see that. But then at the same time, if there's demand, if 50 people want to go and 50 want to go, then 50 will go.
But then again, it's like that thing as well. I know that like if you do have a problem with it, it's that mentality again. I said this on one of the podcasts before. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the politically correct one, where it's like when Ricky Gervais said like it's like when somebody puts up an advertisement for guitar lessons and puts the little toggle for the mobile number. That's like, just because you don't like masterclasses, that's like going over, taking the number, ringing it and saying, but I don't want guitar lessons. Do you know what I mean? Like, just...
And I think what that girl was saying is more that there's a lot of them now where people are trying to make a quick buck. So they're like having them to then go, it's like me launching an eyeshadow palette.
Yeah.
Irrelevantly. No, sorry, because I do makeup. That would be totally different. It'd be like you launching it. Yeah, there you go. I'm like, that's my industry. Sorry. It'd be like you launching an eyeshadow palette and be like, guys, I'm doing a makeup tour.
Yeah.
It's crazy, yo.
Yeah. Guys, I'm so excited. I'm releasing highlighter.
Yeah. Shit. Fucking. For the year's out, I'm going to try and get you to release a highlighter. I wonder if it would sell.
Probably would, because people would know how much I
like, here I am,
just to rip it apart
with my highlighter. So I can see that. I mean, personally, again, I used to do, like, a lot of women love it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was one of those things. It was like, I remember one girl, because it was after we had done the Lip 120 launch. It was 2016 then. I know everything through fucking Smashbox launches, but it was 2016. And she was like, I want to wear Nude Mood, because that's the one that Pippa wears. And it was like the name of a lipstick, and the lipstick's called Nude Mood. Lovely lip, by the way, a lovely nude lip. It's called Nude Mood. But, and I remember just being like, gas.
That's mad.
But I remember being like, cute, like, if that's what you want to do, if you want to put your money into it, that's fine, because it's like €100 ticket, plus you're driving up there, and you're getting your makeup done. You're spending whatever money on it, you know, those kind of things. But I was like, again, it was a nice day out for her and her friends, and they really, like, she was so excited for it.
Yeah.
So it is cute.
I do see, like, I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I didn't take part in the fucking Dolls Day.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I can see the premise in, like, and those, they were sold out, like, do you know what I mean? Those rooms were full to the brim of women who wanted to come and see me, Claire, Emma Lou, Lindsay, Denise, Ali. Like, do you know what I mean? They came to see one of the 6 of us. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I can see that it does work. I think it was more so that we just had a following on social media. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it was necessarily for, like, Ali's demo or Denise's hair care advice. Do you know what I mean? It was more so that we had a following that was kind of very general.
But I also think that it's like, it's entertaining, isn't it? It's like with It Gals and their shows.
Yeah.
Like, their live shows are off the cuff. They really just kind of do it, don't they? They're like, they just kind of get out there, they do it. They've sold out fucking Vicar Street. Whoa.
Is it sold out?
Sold out.
Jesus.
How fucking big? Like, it's a fucking huge venue, isn't it?
It's 1,800.
Please. My Lord above us. I think it's sold out anyway. But, they have their It Gals, do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's such a weird one, because I'm like, at the end of the day, if there's a market for it, then do it. Like, I'd love to, like, I'd pay to see you, you know, do comedy, because I find you funny. Same with Tony, when we went to Tony Cantwell.
Yeah.
You know, I'd pay him all fucking day to talk shite on a stage, because I find him gas.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, I'm sure if we ever did, like, a live show, and people who listen to the podcast and would be around something like, you know what I mean? People would be like, but that makes me laugh. Whereas other people would be like, what the fuck do Carla and Jen think they're doing a live show? And you're like, but
it's that,
there's a market for it.
It's that, is it begrudgery? Is that the right word? It is that kind of new thing as well, where people just don't think that people who are online that have a following should be doing anything like that, because it's just pure. It's like the hatred toward hatred against bloggers. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like, it's just so new. Nobody will call being a blogger a full-time job.
Yeah. When it's a huge fucking market, and I'm like, hello.
Yeah, it's that thing again. Like, they'll absolutely have no problem with, like, even a shy comedian selling out a show.
Yeah, because it's a comedian and they're used to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they will have a problem with a blogger doing like a day out.
That's actually, okay, you're going to kill me again, because I'm about to bring her up again, and everybody's going to be like, why are you such a fucking lemon? And I'm like, because I am. So Nadia
Daily self, fucking hell.
Nadia doesn't even listen to the podcast.
Will you just marry her?
But she put up a photo, because obviously Nadia's a travel blogger, so she travels for her job. And I've had really good chats with her, ins and outs about it, because I remember, like, when I was going away, I was like, oh my God, maybe I'll start a blog. And I was like, this, like, lads, I don't write. Like, I hate writing. I fucking hate it. So I don't know why. I was like, maybe I'll start a blog, because then I'll have all my questions there or whatever. And then I remember, like, chatting to Nadia and be like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Because she was like, so you're going to need to do this, Carly. You're going to have to take photos. And I hate taking photos. She's like, you're going to have to do this. Like, and so my fucking grid has nothing on it. She's like, you're going to have to take photos. You're going to have to edit it. You're going to have to put in work and and I was like, okay, I'm not going to do it. Not going to write a blog while I'm in fucking South America on a bus. But she put up earlier on, she had a photo, and it was just like one of her travel photos, and it was like her running off a beach or something. It was like, because she had just came off a tour in Colombia with G Adventures, and somebody goes, Jesus, sure, how can you call that a job? And then, like, you know, that cartwheeling emoji, it was like, how can you call it? Sure, that's not a job at all. How can you call that a job? And she goes, funny that, because it pays my mortgage.
Yes.
I was literally like,
so it is a fucking job. Like,
I was like, well, yeah, true, I suppose.
bills.
She was like, well, funny that, because it pays my mortgage. And I was like, oh, she went there.
Yeah.
So, gas.
Yeah.
But again, you're all right, because it's like, how, like, we're so, but then back in the day where people are like, so you're just going to get on the stage and tell jokes and people are going to pay you to do that and that's going to be your okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it that way?
I don't know, I wonder.
Can we ask? Do you know anyone? Can we ask? Yeah, I know loads of them. Can you?
I don't know
do you
anybody who started doing stand-up comedy back in the 20s, like, no.
I'm a fucking 20s, you bitch.
I can't say. Well,
I don't think I know
around.
anybody from the 20s, actually. It's funny.
It's been around a while.
It's been, no, but you know, like,
Stand-up.
yeah, but I wonder, when did it become such a
normal thing?
Yeah.
Dunno.
Was it in the 20s?
It's been going since the 80s anyway. Like, I wouldn't know anybody.
From the 80s?
A stand-up comedian who has been, like, there since the start of this whole thing.
All right, Jen, it was a question.
And I'm answering it. It's a stupid fucking question. Like, how old do you think I am? I'm 3 years older than
I think I thought
that you were 80.
No, I think I just thought that comedy was really new for a minute. I don't know why.
No, it's not.
I don't know why.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's enough for this week. What do you think?
Yeah, okay, go.
We started with a yawn talk. We're ending on a yawn talk.
Ending on the on talk.
She's very tired. Do you need a nap?
I don't nap. You know this about me.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were a nap queen.
No, not a nap queen.
Okay.
If I nap, there's something wrong with me. Like,
alright. Well,
Tom was always like, Jesus, she's fucked. I'm like,
I'm the nap queen then.
You are a nap queen. So generally, most people wrote in and it was all kind of, you know, same. Like, we get it. It's been around years. It's been there. The internet has just made it more prevalent. It's more in our faces, but it does come back to the same thing. If it's a good thing, I think it does destroy a lot of markets, but then maybe those markets needed to be destroyed.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
You know, maybe we were always being ripped off, because let's not lie, River Island are still making them jeans for €2. You're just paying 50 quid for them.
Yes, that's
you know?
true. Yeah.
There's nothing
but
different there.
because they're a brand, they get away with it.
Yeah, and that's why Philip Green had to close so many of his businesses. You know, he's Miss Selfridge and Topshop and all that other stuff. Like, Topshop's gone out of Grafton and gone out of Arnott's because, like, that's kind of gone tits up now because of fast fashion.
That's the Arcadia Group, wasn't it?
Arcadia Group,
He was
yeah.
a dickhead though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's an arsehole, yeah.
Yeah, he's an arsehole.
Oh, absolute arsehole. Like, couldn't have happened to a nicer man.
Oh,
but
well then, yeah.
yeah, no, but it's funny, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
like, back in the, like, obviously, if you said
were
5
the
years ago,
frontrunners. Yeah, they were
you'd never
frontrunners.
think that. Like, you were like, when is Topshop going out of business? The
Yeah,
answer's
yeah.
fucking never. So there you go. But yeah,
Be true.
that's what we have to say this week.
Next week, we will be talking about call-out culture. Oh, controversial. So, in the demise of Bloggers Unveiled last year, kind of took a bit of a waste side, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went.
Now, there were still groups that were talking about the likes of bloggers and influencers and celebs in general. But there was no dedicated, well, not in Ireland that we know of anyway, that had made as much of an impact as Bloggers Unveiled did last year. Recently, I've noticed definitely this week, I've been followed by at least 7 new call-out pages. All basically the same as one another. One of them has taken off a bit more than others. Not exactly what Bloggers Unveiled was
I'm not followed by
kind
any
of
of them.
about.
Gas.
But it's the call-out culture in general, because like there's so many Teasville pages in
Yeah, and I think we'll be
American
talking about,
stuff.
America's huge for it too.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be, I'm going to do a bit of research around this one this week. I
Yeah.
want to see the differences between, say, like an American one versus like what we have over here.
Yeah.
Versus where it kind of started, biggest, you know, bust ups and come downs and
call-out culture in general as well, and why people just feel the need for the tea.
yeah,
They're just like, inject it.
into my veins.
But which I kind of have to admit, I am a bit like, if there's no tea on social media of a day, I'm like, oh, boring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and yeah.
But at the same time, I don't agree with like anybody's demise because of a call out. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like people, I mean, we're half getting into it now.
Yeah.
But I feel like, sometimes I feel like when I say people, you know that thing out of Bridesmaids? It's like people change, and it's like, I think they change, but they stay the same. And it's like, I feel like people could change, but they always do change. And it's like, but I feel like people stay the same while also changing. Have you seen that? It's so funny. It's between your one, the Kristen, I can't remember her name, and Rose, and it's, but they're basically just like fighting each other, and they're like, well, I feel like people change. They're like, people change, but they stay the same.
Yeah, okay.
But I think it's this kind of thing, like people make mistakes.
Yeah.
But we love.
Yeah, we love calling them out on it. Also, there's so many, like a lot of these. But just let us know what you think of them.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's.
Let us know if you think it's a good thing. Do you think that it's really opened your eyes? Do you have any specific examples of things that you really thought were 100% and now you're 100% in the other direction? Do you have any personal stories? Do you have anything that you think that could add to this? Let us know.
Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Like, there's...
I think it's a good thing.
Obviously, this new page that's come out, if you know the one that I'm talking about, do you agree with everything that they do? I had a bit of a conversation with her during the week. I'll probably read out the texts that we sent each other. I don't agree with everything that she's putting out there. So that's what it's going to be on next week. So get in touch on WhatsApp 085 725 2127, or you can DM us on the Insta at The Unpopular Opinion 2019.
Here.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.